Hey, Powerhouse Athletic fans, how's it going? This is your first episode of Kyle's Corner. If you visited my blog last year, I'm going to do something similar to what I was doing there. I'm going to come with short videos about fantasy football, about NFL betting. I might even do live videos during Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, do live bets. So make sure you follow our YouTube page, subscribe, like the page, do all that nice stuff. Make sure that you're getting those alerts for when we have those live videos, because either I might post a live video about a bet you should make during a football game, Jordan, Dylan, they might do it too, so make sure you subscribe and like. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the first episode. So I'm going to talk about the biggest fantasy news that everyone's talking about right now. You probably already have thought about it, but it's about the ETN injury and the Rams trading for Sony Michel. So let's get into it. First, I'm going to talk about James Robinson and his fantasy value. I now have him as my 17th running back in both PPR and standard. That is the last running back in my tier 4 group. The tier 4 group is the last running backs I'm really comfortable saying that I'm probably going to start them all season. So they're solid number 2 running backs. Last year, James Robinson was a top 7 running back. He had almost 50 catches. He had 17 carries per game. And he was basically the entire offense for the Jaguars. That being said, I know he's got that role again with ETN out. I don't think the Jags offense is going to run the same with Lawrence. They got a new coach. Everything's pretty new in Jacksonville. They got Marvin Jones down on the outside. Yes, he's going to be their main ball carrier, but I think it's going to be a lot more spread offense, a lot more passing than they did last year. So I like Robinson. I think he's kind of in the same role as DeAndre Swift, but I like Swift's talent more, and I think Swift's supporting cast is worse than Robinson, so he'll be more of a focal point of the offense for Detroit. So I'm taking Swift right ahead of Robinson. But if you get Robinson as your RB2, I think it's a solid pick. And also, don't reach for him before the mid to late third round, early fourth. That's where I like him, as the early fourth. If someone's going to snatch him at the 2-3 turn, let them take him, and you settle for like a DeAndre Swift type. I like him more again. James Robinson is my 17th running back with PPR and standard. And then the next point I'm going to talk about is the Rams trading for Sony Michel. This was terrible news for everyone that drafted Darrell Henderson. Instantly, all the owners of Darrell Henderson cringed when they saw this news. And then Adam Schefter on ESPN went on and said he thought Sony Michel would be the starter. I don't believe that, though. I still think Darrell Henderson is going to be getting the majority of the carries when he's healthy. However, he's already hurt right now. I think he'll be fine for week 1. Well, that health is a huge issue. Part of the reason why I believe they traded for him was to get the depth of Sony Michel, not so that he would be the main ball carrier. But I have him as my 23rd running back in both PPR and standard. He's in my 6th tier. That's about where you're looking at like a flex running back or some depth at your running back position. Or if you're going 0 RB, I think this is a good guy to snag as like your one of your starting running backs if you're going 0 RB. Him and Sony Michel don't catch passes. They both average less than a catch per game. So in PPR, he's not going to help you too much in the reception category. But he's been there for 3 years, been in the system for 3 years. He's been productive when on the field. I still like Darrell Henderson in that like Melvin Gordon, Josh Jacobs, Chase Edmonds range. Those guys, I have him above all those guys, but I think you can really just pick them out of a hat on which one you think will do better. So I'm going to go with him around the 23rd, middle. So 23rd running back, middle of the draft. I still think he could be a weekly starter for you, but there are some question marks. But don't read too much into Sony Michel. I think he's just depth. I'm not too worried about him. So those are my 2 big points on fantasy football that are happening right now. A lot of drafts coming up this week. Thank you for listening to the first episode of Kyle's Corner. Again, these will be sporadic videos throughout the NFL season about NFL betting, fantasy football news, possible live bets during game day. So make sure you subscribe to the page, like the page. Leave any comments you have. Don't forget to listen to the Sports Profits podcast. We record every Monday. It's out early Tuesday for you. Subscribe, like, rate the page, please, and we'll talk to you next time.